So this is something that I've never done before, but it's something that I've really wanted to do for quite some time. Y'all know that I love me some shiny Pokemon, and with how close we are at this point in time to getting the Shiny Dex in Scarlet and Violet, I figured let's just rate all of the Gen 9 shiny Pokemon that are available. Just see which ones are the best, which ones are the worst, and where some lie in between. Not the best intro, but you know what? We're gonna make it work. Alrighty, so as you guys can see, we've got basically S, A, B, C, D, F, the basic tier list with pretty much every Gen 9 shiny Pokemon available, I think. If there's anyone that I am missing, we will just go over it and we'll just place the PNG of them wherever we so desire, because I checked this over. It looks like it's got all of them, but my numbers could be off with this. First off, we've got the Tinkatuff line. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I love the idea of the rusted metal, but I kind of want to put them in C tier, mostly just because it conflicts with its Pokedex entry of how the hammers are basically Corviknight skin, or Corviknight metal if you want to call it. So I would have liked it if the metal had matched shiny Corviknight to a certain degree, but if they wanted to go down this route, it's perfectly fine, but at least change the body. They didn't change the body. They only made the hammer shiny. There's a ton of shiny Pokemon that are like that, like Kamala with its log, but I don't know, something about this, it just doesn't sit right with me. It's not bad, but it's also not good. I am very disappointed with Charcadet. I love Charcadet, Armarouge, and Cerulege. I love these Pokemon to bits, but I kind of want to put them in D tier together. I really do love these Pokemon, which is why I'm not putting them in F tier, but only the eyes changing colors? Are you kidding me? They could have been so cool. Like, imagine how sick it would have been to have Cerulege's colors on Armarouge and vice versa. Like, that would be so sick. But all that changed was the eyes. You don't tell the difference. It's very minimal. Could have been so much better. They should have inverted the colors. They should have. Would have been so good. Alrighty, next up are shinies that I really, really love. I love Toedscruel and Toedscruel's shiny specifically, not just because I got some full odds ones in the full playthrough that we did, but they're just really good coloring. I'm gonna put Toedscruel in A, because like the milky white is a little bit off-putting to me for some reason, but I love Toedscruel's shiny. Something about the vibrant pinks with the black top, I just love that shiny to bits. It is so good. Next up is King Gambit. Honestly, I'm gonna put it in B tier. I love the blue shiny. I think it's still really, really, really cool. I would have liked it if the red on its mustache blade would have changed to blue as well, or if they maybe did something different with the gold. But it's not a bad shiny, it's just continuing the Bisharp line, which is already a great shiny. I just wish they could have done a little bit more, I guess. All right. Oh, Clodsire, little blooper. Oh, you are so good. I'm also gonna put you... I'm gonna put you in B tier. It's a really nice shiny, but it's not like an outstanding one, you know? Like, it's clearly different, clearly a well-noticeable shiny, and I love the blue, and I love Clodsire. It's just not doing anything for me in that regard, you know? Next up is Annihilate. I actually don't have this shiny yet in-game. This is one that I still need to hunt for. So, interesting. Okay, so it looks like it kind of just becomes a deeper blue, maybe? I don't think its hair changes, the body changes, which is weird. Isn't Mankey and Primeape a green shiny? I'm gonna put it in C tier. I think it's cool. I think it's pretty good, but considering that it went from the green to the blue, I don't know. I'm trying to imagine it next to a regular Annihilate, and I can't really tell the difference. Maybe it's just because of my eyes and how I perceive colors, but I think it's okay. But I don't think it's gonna be taking home the trophy anytime soon. Paldean Tauros. Such a cool premise. Finally, Tauros gets some love with a regional variant and having 3 different forms. But, all they did was make, like, the body a little bit of a darker black to match its fur. Like, how awesome would it have been to go to, like, a pure white shiny or a brown shiny to kind of, like, give homage to, like, Cantonian Tauros. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. But, like, it pains me to do this. I gotta put them in F tier. It was okay for me to hunt for when I did get a shiny Tauros, but God, they could have done something so much better. Put my derpy baby at S tier, damn it. Oh, don't worry, Eric. It's a God tier shiny. The fact that it goes back to Jotonian Wooper, it's such a glorious shiny. I'm glad that it kept the blue coloring when it evolved into Clodsire, but that is easily one of the best shinies in Paldea. It's so good. All right, we're finally onto the starters now. All right, Sprigatito. I'm gonna be a little bit biased, possibly, but I'm gonna do my best to not be unfair. I understand that a lot of people don't like the Sprigatito line. One, because it goes from quadruped to bipedal. I get that. I didn't have as much hate for it. I just saw a cute grass cat, and I personally love the Pokemon. I don't think its shiny is that great, but I don't think it's bad. Now, I'm gonna split them up a little bit, because I do actually think that Sprigatito's shiny is a bit better than the other ones. Mostly just because something about the eyes being very wide open and like very big pupils that you could see, it's very easy to tell the difference between the original and the shiny. So I think Sprigatito is B, while the others are C. Although I am very tempted to put Meowscarada in B as well, because the flower kind of like it like shows itself off a little bit more. I don't know how to describe it. No, I'm putting it in C. I love the Pokemon, but its shiny could have been better. All right, Fuecoco. Now this is how you do shinies right. I really wish that it was a blue shiny, like having blue flames or something, but honestly, I still love the pink of this Pokemon. Fuecoco. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I want to put them... Okay, here's the deal. I'm going to put the first two stages in B tier. I think they're good. They're not anything to write home about, but I think they're very decent shinies. Now you are an A tier shiny. Something about that vibrant pink. Oh, that vibrant pink is just so nice. And the accents, you could clearly tell the difference between the original and the shiny with this one. I love that pink so much. It's so good. Alrighty, next is Quaxly, which I really don't know how to feel about this Pokemon. Because it's like, it's an obvious shiny, but it's also not like a good shiny. And it's not because I'm trying to hate the duck. I think they're okay. I think the final stage is the best shiny out of all of them, personally. But that's not really saying much. Because I'm not gonna lie, the first two are going into C, and no, I feel like I'm gonna make some people mad if I put them in D tier, but I personally am not a fan of their shinies. I think the blue is very nice and works well with them, but I still don't think of them as particularly good shinies. To make people feel better, I will at least stick with this, but I genuinely don't know how I feel about this one. This one is just a really tough one for some reason. I don't know how to feel about this entire line for the shiny. All right, in the meantime, though, let's just move on to the next S tier. Come on, y'all knew it. Y'all knew that Lechonk was gonna be on S tier. It is a pink pig. They could not have done that shiny any better. It is so good. Oinkologne, on the other hand, I'm gonna put them in A tier. I'm gonna put both of their forms in A tier. I like them. I think the pink is really good, but Lechonk is just Lechonk. Like, most of the time, people are more fans of Lechonk than they are of Oinkologne, so I'm pretty happy with these placements. The Dunsparce is... I don't know how to feel about the Dunsparce, honestly. I get Dunsparce needed an evolution. Adding a segment and a dun before its name is not the evolution I was expecting. It's basically just a bigger Dunsparce. I like Dunsparce's shiny enough. I'll put it in B tier. All right, now Spidops and Tarantulops? I think I'm pronouncing their names correctly. These guys, I love their shinies. I'm gonna put both in A, or actually no, I'm gonna put Tarantulops in A, and I'm gonna put Spidops in B. And now I do this because I am more of a fan of the red that was used for the webbing, or for its, like, back, ball, whatever you want to call it. I really like the red. I think the pink is okay. I would have preferred if they had just used more of the red in its body for its evolution, rather than just using pink. All right, now on for Nimble and Low Kicks. I love their shinies so much. I think it's a glorious, beautiful shiny, and because of that, I'm gonna put both of them in A tier. There's not really one that I prefer over the other. I kind of wish that Low Kicks kind of had Nimble's brighter yellow than the kind of darkish, like, kind of green yellow that it has. It's still a great shiny, don't get me wrong, but yeah, they're great shinies. I kind of wish that it was a little bit better though. Now, Rellor has got to be, it's got to be S tier. Like, I'm sorry, you can't not love that golden ball of poop. It is glorious. I do also like how the face changes a little bit. It goes from pink in the original to blue in the shiny form. I really love that. Like, the body also changed. Even if it's a slight little detail, the body still changed, but the fact that the ball of poo turns into a golden ball of poo, they couldn't have done it any better. I will say its evolution, though, I don't hate its shiny, but I don't love it either. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think it's a pretty decent shiny. Now the good boys, Graveyard and Houndstone. Okay, I'm gonna put, dang it. I really do like some of the yellow shinies that they have in this game, but I'm gonna put you in B, and I'm gonna put Houndstone in C. And Houndstone in C. Yeah, that's great communication there. Now hear me out on this one. I think they're great shinies. You could clearly tell them apart from the original ones. I just don't have a fondness for them as much as some of the other people. I think it's really cool. The yellow, it stands out. Had Houndstone had its brighter yellow match Graveyard's brighter yellow, I think it would have been a better shiny. But overall, it's okay. Not terrible. Not taking home any trophies. Wait, is it possible? Oh, is it possible for me to make another tier? I actually have no idea if it's possible. Can I add? Oh, add a row. Yeah. No. Okay, you go there, and you are going to be garbage with a white color. Absolute garbage. This thing is the worst shiny in the game, and I will stand by that statement. For personal reasons, I hate Shiny Flittle. I don't like this thing, and I don't like this thing's shiny. This thing is going into the trash where it belongs, and we are not going to look back on it. I don't care what anyone says. Anyone that is trying to defend this creature for its shiny, I'm sorry, I don't like it. All that changes is like the pink becomes a green. That's it, and it's a tiny shiny. Like, it's very not noticeable. Like, I'm getting tongue twisted over here because I just don't like this thing shiny at all. It deserves its own row as garbage. A Spot Throw, on the other hand, I actually really like its shiny. It is kind of reminding me of Lady Gaga, and I don't, like, hate her, but I also don't love her. I think overall her presence and her music is still pretty good, though. But I'm gonna put you in C tier. You probably would have been higher if you didn't have any association to Flittle, but yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Just being associated to Flittle is going to bring down any points for your shiny. I'm sorry. You were saying that because you got trolled in the call. Not only that, not only was I trolled
into believing that I could get a shiny, it took me multiple attempts on multiple outbreaks with multiple mystical loss because of it. And I also don't think it's a good shiny. All it changes is pink to green. Had they changed any other part of its body, it would have been fine, but it's barely noticeable. There's one thing about Tauros or with Charcadet in that entire line. They're barely noticeable, but at least the accents are noticeable to a certain degree where you can pretty much tell the difference in game. In this one, you have to be zoomed in, you have to be up close and personal. And not to make things gross, you gotta look up the skirt. There's no excuse for the shiny.
All right, next up is Farigiraf. I am very happy that Farigiraf exists. I'm glad that it got an evolution. And honestly, I think it's a really cool shiny compared to Girafarig. I don't know why. Something about the orange and its blue nose being more accented. I really like this shiny. I will put you... I'm going to put you in B tier. I think it deserves a B. It's a well noticeable shiny. Alrighty, Wiglet. I I love Wiglet. I don't know why. I think it's extremely funny for a Pokemon to kind of be inspired by Diglett, but also being not a Diglett. And I don't know why. Its yellow body shiny with a blue nose is really cool. And I kind of like how it flip-flops compared to Wugtrio. I got a shiny Wugtrio in the game. I don't have a shiny Wiglet yet. And I really like shiny Wiglet. So I'm going to put you in B tier. Now, I'm actually going to put shiny Wugtrio in A tier. And I'm only doing that because I'm more of a fan of blue than I am of yellow. So I think it deserves to be a little bit higher. Both great shinies, I just like Wugtrio's a bit more. All right, Dodonzo. I don't know why, but I absolutely love this shiny. Something about it going from the blue and white to white and yellow. I really love this shiny. It is going into A tier. I would put it in S tier, but part of me doesn't want to, mostly because it was a pain to try to get this shiny. Even in an outbreak, it was in Lag Lake, it was raining, I could barely move, it was a struggle to try to get this shiny, and it's kind of giving me a slight sour taste in my mouth when I think about it, but it's still a really, really good shiny. Volton Veluza! I like it, but I also don't like it. I mean, it's a noticeable shiny. It goes from pink to green, and the green is actually kind of vibrant. So I guess it kind of gets points in that regard, but it would have been cool if, kind of like some of the other silver Pokemon out there, it got a little bit of like a golden fish treatment. I don't know. I feel like they could have done something so much better with this. So for now, I'm going to put it in... I don't want to put it in D tier. Yeah, I'll put it in C tier for now. It could have been better, but I'm not completely opposed to it. Next up is Finizen. I love this shiny. I really love the purple accents. I gotta put this thing in A tier. It's an awesome Pokemon with an awesome shiny, and I really, really love the coloring on this one. Now, Palafin, I'm gonna go with its quote-unquote zero form first. I understand that its shiny is going to be kept as the same because of it. Like, how do I describe this? Its shiny is going to stay the same in this form because Palafin is basically the same as Finizen, just with a heart. It would have been really cool if the heart had changed colors, and if it did, I just cannot tell the difference. As far as a shiny goes, I am going to put it in C tier. And I'm doing this solely because nothing changed. Now it's hero form, on the other hand. Hero form has to be an S tier in my mind. I don't know why. I absolutely love this shiny. I love darker colored shinies. I think this is so sick, and its eyes are just so much more accented here. I love it. It's gotta be S tier. Palafin in its normal form, not a good shiny. Get it into its hero form immediately, and you've got one of the best shinies in the game, in my opinion. All right, now, I gotta say, I love Smoliv's shiny. I think this has got to be an S tier as well. I don't know why. Just all they had to do was change the olive to be a black olive. It's a perfect shiny. There's really nothing that can be bad about this. It's great. Now, Dolive and Abravola. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing the final stage correctly of their name. I don't think I can give them as much love because I don't think their designs are as cute as Smoliv. They're still great shinies, and the fact that the olive stays the same color throughout its entire evolution line is nice. So I'm going to put both of them in B tier. I think that's a fair placement for them. They're still great shinies, nothing to write home about. I just happen to love Smoliv a lot more. I think it makes sense and is fair judgment. All right, now Capsakid. I don't know how to feel about this one. I think it's still really cool, and it definitely stands out amongst its normal counterpart. I'm going to put you in C tier. I like it, but it's not one of those mons where I'm like super hyped to get the shiny for. I think it's good, but I think its evolution is a bit better. And I say that because like I said, I like blue shinies more than the yellow shinies, and the blue stands out a lot more in this form. I will say, I think it would have been awesome had they flip-flopped the heads, where that's basically the same color palette as its normal form, where the red head is like the right head compared to it, and the green one is the left one compared to it. Had they flip-flopped it, I think that would have been amazing and would have given it so many more points. But I would much rather go for the second form evolution than the first form for this one. I hate to say it, Tadbulb, I gotta put it in D tier. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to put it in F tier or not, but it is a bad shiny. Don't get me wrong. It really is a bad shiny because it's a very, very tiny mon. Or actually, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I wanted to give it some good remarks, but in my heart, I can't do it. It takes so much focus and dedication in order to see if it's actually shiny. There are ways where you could probably work around it, do the auto battling, and you'd probably be fine. But the fact that most of the time the outbreaks for these things are above water, so they're barely spawning, and it's barely noticeable, like you have to be super zoomed in to see if it actually is a shiny. I can't give this good shiny, like, marks. God, my words are so good right now, aren't they? Now, Tadbulb is a bad shiny. Bellybolt, on the other hand, I gotta put it in S tier. It changes so drastically from its normal coloration. I absolutely adore this shiny. It is so good. The yellow is really vibrant. And I also kind of like how you can barely see what its actual eyes are, because its eyes are not the bulbs on the side of its head. The eyes are the two little dots that are in the middle of it. And you don't really see it here. So you actually think the eyes on the side of its head are the actual eyes. It's a god tier shiny in my opinion. So good. All right, now for the Golden Boys, Varoom and Revavroom. I really love these shinies. Something about the gold, it just really stands out, and going from silver to gold, so good. I gotta put them at least in B tier. Yeah, no, I would put them in A tier. No, yeah, actually, you know what? I am. This is my tier list. I can do whatever I want with it. I am gonna put them in A tier. I think they're fantastic. I think it's a little bit tough, like challenging to find them when you're out in the overworld and you're shiny hunting. I do understand it's a tough one, but God, they're just so good. They are so golden bright. I love them. If it was easier to hunt, they would be S tier, but because it's a little bit of a challenge to hunt in good contents, I don't think I can put them in S tier. Oh, now Orthworm though. Orthworm, I gotta put in S tier. One, it's a blue shiny. It is a glorious blue boy or blue girl, and we will love the blue. It is such a good shiny. Plus, it's a little gummy worm. It's a good little gummy worm. Who's next? Tandemouse and Mousehold. I'm really sorry. I've got to put them in F tier. I don't think I could. Well, okay, no. This is hard because I actually don't mind their shinies, and I didn't think it was too tough to actually catch one, but like the family one is adorable. But okay, hear me out on this. We're gonna have a bit of a compromise. Tandemouse going into F tier. Mousehold is going into D tier, solely for the fact that it is possible for you to get a 3-mouse Mousehold. Had it only been the 4 mice, probably would be an F tier as well. But because there is a chance that you could get a different variant, it's getting good graces in my mind, and this is where we're going with it. They're not good shinies, mind you. I don't 100% hate them, but I definitely do not love them. Now, I think y'all saw where this was going. Clearly, these guys are going into S tier. Citadel, Cititan, amazing, beautiful shinies, much darker colors. Like, there's no competition. There's no way to not love these shinies. Seriously. Like, they stand out amongst their originals, and something about Cititan too. Oh my god. Having the contradicting, like, grayer body with the black top, and having the orange accents even be more, like, visual in the body. Beautiful shinies. Absolutely incredible. Now comes the tough ones, because if y'all could tell the difference between these and the original, you're much better at this than I am, but I seriously am having such a tough time with finding these freaking shinies. C tier for pseudos and D tier. I will say I am bouncing back and forth between C and D. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. This is where we're going with this. I do think the middle evolution has the better shiny because you can actually tell from its body that it is shiny. The others, Frigibax, Baxcalibur, I cannot tell if they are shiny or not. I think it has something to do with like the pink on its hands, and maybe it's like a little bit of a different blue compared to the normal one. But from what I can see, Arctobax has the better shiny of the three. I will say I do appreciate that Tatsugiri has different forms and has different shinies to match those different forms. Such as this one. The white Tatsugiri is normally pink. I think that's cool. Very noticeable shiny. It's a good color. I'll put it in A tier. Now, the brown one over here is normally orange. I understand that. It kind of makes sense, but it also is kind of like poop color, in my opinion. It's not a bad shiny. Very easy to tell. I'm going to put it in B tier. This one. This one, this one, this one. Yellow form Tatsugiri's shiny is orange. And it almost perfectly matches the orange of an orange form Tatsugiri. I think it's curly form. I think it goes, I don't remember. It's curly, straight, and droopy, I think. But either way, I don't like this one. I do not like this shiny form at all because it so closely matches one of the other forms that you could see it, think, oh, it's just a regular orange Tatsugiri. No big deal. Apparently, the only way to really tell is you have to look at its back. If it has yellow stripes on its back, that's how you know it's shiny. I get that. It's okay, but I can't put this above D tier. I'm sorry. I just don't like how one of the shiny forms of a multiple form Pokemon almost directly matches the coloring of one of the original forms. I don't know. I cannot like that shiny. You could like it, and that's perfectly fine. Me personally, I can't put it higher than D tier. Cyclizar. I don't have a shiny of this yet, which I'm honestly kind of surprised that I don't have a shiny of, because I think it's a really cool shiny. I don't know why. I gotta put this in A tier. I really love the coloring for some reason. I think the blue is super cool, and it stands out on like the beige tan color that the body has, and it just looks so sick compared to the normal coloring that it has. It is really, really good. Pawmi, Pawmo, and Pawmot. Y'all can say what you want about their forms. I think their shinies are phenomenal. I think they're great. I'm trying to think though where to put them. Honestly, I want to put them in S tier, but okay, I am gonna put Pawmi in S tier. I do think Pawmi is worthy of an S tier. I'm gonna put Pawmo in A tier though, mostly just because, as you guys can see from the two pictures, the pinks are very, very different. Maybe the lighting of the picture that they took from this, I would have liked it if the pink was just as vibrant when it evolved. If that's just because of the picture, then this goes into S tier. Pawmot goes into S tier because the pink just more closely matches one another. If this is just because of the image, bump it up to S. All right, now we've got the Wattrel and Kilowattrel line. I will say, Wattrel specifically, I am not particularly fond of its shiny colors. I just think that in darkness at night, it's just way too tough for me to be able to figure out if it is shiny or not. I don't know why. You can clearly tell, like, it's a little bit more like maroon highlighted, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't really know. I am not a fan of these birds' shinies, so I'm putting them in C tier. I don't think they're terrible, but me personally, I am not a fan of them. Now, Bombardier. Now, here's my problem with Bombardier, because there are some aspects of it that I really like. Something about only the beak and the feet changing colors to gray helps make everything else just stand out a lot more. But the fact that only the beak and the feet change makes it a much tougher shiny to hunt for. And to me, that kind of puts it in the middle. So I am gonna put it in C tier. I'm not hating on the birds, I promise you. I'm not trying to hate on the birds, but I think it's somewhere in the middle where I like it, but I also don't like it. So it just seems like an appropriate spot for it. Now for the Squawkabilly line. I will say I do appreciate that the Squawkabilly line's shinies don't contradict what their normal variants colors are. I don't know if that means that it's a good shiny though, because the only things that change is that its little headpiece goes from black to pink. I think they're okay. I think they could have been better. I'm gonna put all of them in D tier. All right, now Flamigo. I really love this shiny. I'm putting it in A tier. I would put it in S tier, but I feel like they could have done a little bit more than just make it a little bit of like a beigeur version of a Flamigo. I think the pink for Flamigo is awesome. My God, I am getting so tongue-tied tonight, and I am so sorry. I think it's a great shiny. Really stands out when it's next to its other Flamigos. I think that it's just gonna fall a little short of being S tier just because of the beigeness part of it. Now you, Cloth. Cloth has to be S tier. I gotta put you in A for a sec, but you are S tier. Blue shiny, amazing. I love this thing so much, and the fact that I was able to get one, I am so grateful for. Such a beautiful shiny, very vibrant, very noticeable. Love it, love it, love it. All right, now for the Knackley line. I actually really like these shinies. Some could say that Knackley is hard to distinguish. I didn't have a problem with it. I don't think they're S tier. Like, I like how it goes to like a tan color compared to its original body, which is like more of like a beige white, I guess. I would say all of them are worthy of A tier. Very noticeable, very good, but I don't know. There's just something about it where I just rightfully cannot put it in S tier, you know? Now for, is it Glimmet and Glimora? Hopefully I'm pronouncing them right. I don't remember. I just remember that with Glimmet specifically, I had a really tough time with shiny hunting this one. I don't know why. It does stand out. It's very noticeable. I think it's okay. Again, though, because it's kind of like a smaller shiny, it makes it tough for me to give it any good graces and good points. I think it's B tier. It's a noticeable shiny, but I rightfully just could not put it any higher. And I think I'm gonna do the same for its evolution. I love the blue, and I think it's awesome, but I don't know, there's something about it where I just can't put it any higher in my heart. It might have something to do with how long it specifically took me to get the shinies for, and that's kind of more of like a personal vendetta, but something about it, it's just, once I got one, I have not found another one. No matter what, I could never find another shiny of them. And whether it's just because it's too tough, or because they constantly are inside walls, so it makes it tough to actually see if you got them. I get that's part of the story of these Pokemon, and it's like, it makes sense for their dexes. As far as shiny hunting goes, I can't put it higher than B tier. Now, for Shroodle and Grafaiai, I love these. I've gotta put Shroodle in S tier. Something about the purple compared to its normal coloration, it is so freaking good. I don't know why, I absolutely love it. I thought it was a pretty easy shiny because the eyes take up so much of the face. I really do love its shiny. Simplistic changes are sometimes the best. Now, Grafaiai, unfortunately, it's still really cool, don't get me wrong. I just don't know how I could possibly feel about it. I really do love Shroodle shinies, and that's kind of why I really love Grafaiai as well, because it does have the purple eyes, and you can tell it apart from its normal counterpart. I mean, the ink that it's like secreting, I guess if you want to use that word, does change, and I do appreciate that and do like it, but I don't know, there's something about it. I'm debating between putting it in B or A, and I think I'm gonna go with B. It's a good shiny, but I would much rather get a shiny Shroodle than I would for a shiny Grafaiai. Now, Fido and Darkspun. I really love these shinies. I just love the Pokemon line in general, and that's kind of giving it good graces. They kind of remind me of like tanner buns than what they already are, and I kind of like that. So I am going to put them in A tier. I think they're fantastic. I think they're phenomenal. They're great months to shiny hunt. I don't think they're S tier quality, mostly because of Fido specifically, where there are some instances where the lighting could affect it and you could think that you've got a shiny Fido, and it's just not. Like, you can auto battle it thinking, oh, I've actually got it, and then it just KOs the Pokemon, and then you're like, oh, that's sad. So I can't give it that next level. They're great shinies, but I can't go any higher than that. However, these good boys. Oh, these good boys. They've got to go S tier for me. You could say what you want about them. I absolutely love these shiny Pokemon. I obviously love their storyline with Arven. I love everything about them. I think they're great shiny Pokemon. They stand out, and they're like kind of blue, more like a dark purple gray if you want to go down that line, but I still love them. I think they're phenomenal, and I always am like super happy if I ever see their shiny forms. Now for the tumbleweeds. I really don't know how to feel about these guys, because in some instances they're very noticeable. And I will say, I think it's awesome how if there's like strong wind out, they actually will not blow away fast. Like, they'll just stay put and go at their normal tumble speed, which makes it a lot easier to actually find them. But as far as an actual shiny design looks, I'm going to put them in C tier. They definitely stand out, and I think they're still pretty cool. Dang, I'm really going back and forth with this one. I'm actually conflicted. I think this is the right place. This is where I had initially gone, and sometimes I just gotta trust my gut, and this is telling me to put them in C tier. I think they're good, but I can't see it going any higher. Now, on to the coins. Gimmighoul and Goldengo. They are, unfortunately, garbage. I'm sorry. I love the Pokemon. I love the concept behind them, but their shinies barely change, and the fact that they're shiny locked makes me mad. I don't know how I would ever be able to get a shiny if they ever do come out with the shiny. And I swear, if they try to do some kind of Pokemon Go shenanigan where you have to go through the catching process to get a single coin Gimmighoul versus a chest form Gimmighoul, but you can only catch a shiny single coin Gimmighoul, transfer over, and then get the coins and evolve it, and that's how you get the shiny. That sounds way too complicated, way too annoying. It's gotta be garbage. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna put him in F tier. I'm gonna put him in F tier because I don't want Flittle to have friends. I hope this actually does have every mon. If there is one that I'm missing, let me know. But now it looks like we're on to the Paradox mons. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I pretty much love all of the past form Paradox mons. Some of the future ones I like, some of them I don't, but I'm gonna be speaking very highly of the Scarlet past Paradox mons because they are good shinies, such as Great Tusk. Great Tusk is clearly an S tier. I'm sorry, but it's just so freaking awesome. You've gotta love whenever you're going for a Great Tusk shiny hunt and that beautiful brown horn just comes out of nowhere. It's just, oh, it's so good. Brute Bonnet, I kind of wish that I could give it the S tier treatment, but it really only just has the same kind of shiny color palette as Fungus and Amoonguss. And the fact that this Pokemon did not get the name that Brandon and I had talked about during one of his streams makes me sad. If we could change this to Amoonguss, if this Pokemon could legally change its name to Amoonguss or Ungabungus, I would absolutely love this and give it S tier, but I don't think I could go any higher than B tier. I think it's a good shiny, but I think it would have been better too if like the green had changed colors. Instead, only the red changed on the Pokeball. It's good, it's noticeable. I just don't see, specifically for my taste, I don't see that one getting higher than B tier. Now, I will say Sandy Shocks is a shiny that I'm very upset I don't actually have. Because it is super cool, golden. I love how this shiny looks. It's gotta be an A tier. It's just, it can't get any better than that. It's a Magneton on the ground and it's going pure gold. It's awesome. All right, this is the Jigglypuff variant. I'm having a hard time. Screamtail. Okay, Screamtail. I really love this shiny. I love how it gets like bloodlust eyes compared to like Jigglypuff shinies, which is like not good in my opinion, but that's a whole other topic for another day. I really love this shiny. I think it's super cool. This thing has to be an A tier as well. All right, next up, Slitherwing. This thing has to be S tier shiny. It basically copies a Mischievous green shiny, takes it to a whole other degree with that feather. It's vibrant, it's beautiful. I really wish that I could hunt for this thing on a regular basis, because this is such a good shiny. Now, Slitherwing is another It's another Paradoxmon that I do not have a shiny for, which I'm a little bit upset with, because all of the past forms are good in my opinion. I am going to put it in A tier. I am trying to remember what regular Slitherwing's coloration is. I know that it's vastly different. I think it has something to do with like the wings just being much more orange and help like stand out. But yeah, I gotta put this thing in A tier. This thing is really good. Alrighty, Roaring Moon, gotta be an S tier. Seriously, how could you not love this shiny? Slitherwing is an awesome Pokemon. It is extremely, extremely cool, and all of a sudden, it gets even cooler. You cannot go wrong with this Pokemon. You cannot go wrong with this shiny. It is incredible. I love it. Now we're unfortunately coming to the ones that I was dreading, because I like the future Pokemon. I think some of their designs are really cool. Some of their shinies, I am not a fan of. Unfortunately, Iron Treads has to go in D tier. I wish that I could put this thing higher. I really wish that I could. But the only thing that really changed is that it turned the black parts of its body silver, which honestly made it even tougher to tell from a distance if it was shiny. Like, I'm certain if you're just like riding around in the area, you could probably run into one and you could probably distinguish the shiny from the non-shiny. I don't know why, I had a tough time with this one, and I can't put it higher in my heart. I love Iron Treads. I think it's a sick Pokemon with a sick moving animation, but gosh, I just wish that they had done more than just turning it silver, you know? And same with Iron Moth. I gotta put Iron Moth in F tier. And that's not me trying to be a jerk about it, but the only thing that changed for the shiny is the gray horns and the gray triangles. That's it. I think it's really cool, and it does make the orange stand out a lot more. But the fact that so little changed and took such a long time for me to hunt, I just genuinely don't think I could give this thing any higher. I really wish that I could. Iron Hands, on the other hand, I personally actually really like. A lot of people hate it, but hear me out. Something about it, it makes it shine so much more. I don't know why, but the fact that its pants and its head and like a little bit of its back changed, I like it, but I also don't like it. I don't think I could go any higher than C tier, so that's what it's gonna get so I can make myself feel better about it. But I personally really like it. I think it's good. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I know a lot of people think that this shiny is trash, and I get it and I respect it, but I don't really have that much of an issue with it, and it has come in very clutch in a lot of my raids, and like 5-star raids and 6-star raids. I kind of have more sentimental attachment to it, so I, in my own mind, just can't rank it lower because I just love it. Iron Jugulus, on the other hand, is one of those Paradoxmons that I really like with the silver. Stands out. Most of its body was black. Made sense to match with Hydreigon. Makes a lot of sense. The full thing turns silver. I actually really love this shiny. I think it's super cool. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Mostly just because I don't think it can go into A. I really want to put this thing into A tier, but I don't know, there's something just pulling me back to B. Maybe it's just because I have, like, I'm trying to explain it. I'm trying to find the right words, honestly. But there's something about it where I wish that something else had changed. Like if the blue on its face had changed as well, I think that would have given it a lot more high remarks, and I think it would have gotten it up to A tier, but I can't put it any higher than B tier as is. Now, the next one, I know a lot of y'all are going to be happy with my placement for this one, because this is one of those future Paradoxmons that really, this is just such a good shiny. Like, I've got to put this in S tier. This is one of those ones where the silver stands out tremendously compared to the rest of its body and the other kinds. Seriously, it is so freaking good. Like, don't get me wrong, I love regular Iron Thorns. I think it's a great Pokemon with a great design because it's a goddamn metal Tyranitar. It is so sick. And this one, oh, they did the shiny right with this one. I actually love how this shiny looks. Shiny Iron Bundle. I really love it. Something about the pure silver with the blue really works for me. But I can't say it's an S tier. I really want to put this thing in S tier, but I'm going to put it in A. I think it's a great Pokemon, but I think its association with Delibird, which I've had mixed feelings about, is kind of putting it lower than what some might say. I think it's cool, and I think it's a great Pokemon, and I think it's absolutely hilarious that they made a really strong Delibird. But as far as its shiny goes, I can't put it any higher than A tier. Iron Valiant, on the other hand, I really, really love this shiny Pokemon. This was one of the first Paradox Mons that I actually shiny hunted for, and when I got it, I wish that I am kidding on this. I ended up getting 4 off of 1 sandwich my first time hunting for this thing. I have not gotten that many since, mostly just because I haven't been actually hunting for it, but that's a whole other thing. I really, really love this shiny. I have huge sentimental attachment to it, and I think its coloration is really good, and I think the pure silver helps it stand out a lot with the pink blades and everything else. That's got to be one of those S tier ones. Now we're on to the legendaries, and I'm not even going to attempt the names of the 4 Sacred Beast legendaries. Are they Sacred Beasts? I don't remember what their name is, unfortunately. I didn't really take the history courses based off of them, but I do think some of their shinies are actually pretty good. First one is Ting Lu. Okay, gotcha. It is Ting Lu, thank you. Ting Lu. I will say, I don't hate the shiny, but I don't really have any opinion on it personally. Like, this is gonna be really hard for me to say, but aside from encountering this in like one of the islands where like a lot of bug Pokemon are that I've been shiny hunting for, that's pretty much the only thing that I really remember about this location. The environment around it was very autumn and it was very cool, and I thought it was awesome. But there's not much else that I could really say about the Pokemon or its shiny. I don't have strong feelings toward the shiny. A lot of people could defend it. A lot of people could be against it. I'd be perfectly fine with it, and I could see both sides of it. So because of that, I'm going to put it in C tier. Don't really have any strong affection towards it, but I'm also not super against it. But Wo-Chien, on the other hand, I really like its shiny. Something about it going from the white body to a brown body, I don't know why, it makes the accents of the white marks and its blue eyes and its tusks or teeth, whatever you want to call it. I think this is super cool. I really like it. I don't think it's a god tier shiny, but I also don't hate it. So because of that, I'm going to put it in B tier. That's Chien Pao. You guys are making me confused. Chien Pao, the saber tech. Okay. I'm going based off of what you guys said in the order. Well, this is gonna make this is not gonna look good in the video. But that's the thing though, is that I have not used these Pokemon or thought of them in any aspect since like I caught them. Okay, my apologies. Chien Pao, B tier shiny. Okay. Okay, the goldfish is Chi Yu. The next one is Wo-Chien. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to not butcher these names anymore. Wo-Chien, kind of the same thing as Ting Lu. I don't really have any issue with it. Okay, I will say I'm gonna make a bit of an adjustment. You are going into A because I think your shiny stands out really, really well. You are going into B tier because I think your shiny also does stand out really, really well. But I also don't really know how I feel about it. I think it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I just don't have any other rhyme or reason for it. I think the red leaves helps it stand out a bit more and actually looks like a face, like a monster face in the shadows. So I guess that gives it good praise, but I can't go any higher than that. Now you, the goldfish, the blue, beautiful blue shiny. I am so happy that they finally gave, well, not finally, but like, it's a blue fire shiny. I really, really love this. I think it's incredible. I just love how the blue accents are on this Pokemon, and I really wish that it was available for shiny hunting. I would have spent so much time, even for full odds shiny hunting on this thing, and I would have not complained about it had I known that this would be the final result. I really love that shiny Pokemon. Shiny legendaries suck this gen. I don't know about that there, Temmie. There are some good shiny Pokemon for the legendaries, such as Koraidon. Like, come on. This is a glorious, beautiful shiny. This thing has gotta be S tier. Like, I really wish that this thing wasn't shiny lucked. They suck because you can't get them. Now, I will agree with that statement. If they were available, it would be awesome. If they just had to be, they just had to be available. But I understand where you're coming from with that, Temmie. I understand it. The fact that they're locked does kind of leave a sour taste in your mouth, but maybe they'll somehow be available in the DLC once that releases or in the future. I really love shiny Koraidon, and as much as I want to give Miraidon the same love, I unfortunately can't. I think it's cool that it follows the whole silver like pattern, but I can't give it an S tier. I will give it an A tier though, because I still think that it's really, really cool, and I think it does stand out compared to its normal counterpart. Plus, I don't know why, for some reason, when I was doing the sledding gym competition thing, for whatever reason, the game bugged out and it gave me a shiny Miraidon. So, for a time being, I did technically have a shiny Miraidon. It went away immediately, but at least we could say that we've temporarily owned a shiny Miraidon. No, I'm not hacking. Apparently, it was a common thing where, like, the game bugged out. I saw multiple things of people tweeting about it and Reddit posts of just the game glitching out and apparently during that segment giving you a shiny Miraidon. And it's only for Violet players for some reason. It's not like they got a shiny Koraidon in Scarlet. But yeah, that's the tier list. We've got S Pokemon right here, A, B, C, D, F, and garbage. Say it with me, we hate shiny Flittle. I will say, I'm hoping this will be a relatively good looking video. I've never done something like this before. So if you guys want to see more tier lists of other Pokemon games, other Pokemon shiny, anything that you guys would want around the topic, let me know in the comments. I'm actually kind of intrigued with this whole concept of creating a tier list. I know that there are going to be opinions that I provided that you probably won't agree with, but I still had a lot of fun with it, and hopefully you guys can understand where I'm coming from with this. But there's the tier list. Woo! Hey y'all, so future Jer here. Spoiler alert, past Jer was an idiot. Well, I mean, you already knew that I was an idiot, but we're not going to get into that right now for the video. So luckily, my editor, Brandon, had pointed out in the tier list video that there were two Pokemon that I unfortunately forgot because the PNGs were not available in the tier list when I made the tier list. And the two Pokemon are the two newest Paradox Pokemon, that being Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. Two Pokemon that I'm not really surprised that I forgot because I don't know if that many people actually remember them. Basically, I don't really know how I feel about these Pokemon. I think it's cool that we got new Paradox Pokemon just like introduced out of nowhere. I know that a lot of people are mad about some of the designs. I know that people are not okay with how they look compared to how they were kind of showed off in the books. I don't really know. I will say though, their shinies are okay at best. I'm gonna try to keep things as simple as possible for this. Walking Wake goes in B and Iron Leaves goes in C. Hear me out. Walking Wake's shiny I like because it matches Suicune's shiny to a certain degree, but I don't really like the overall Paradox design that it has. I think it's cool, but it's nothing super duper special in my mind, so it goes in B tier. Iron Leaves, it gets the same treatment as other future shiny Paradox Pokemon. Basically, the body becomes silver. It stands out more than some of the other shiny future Paradox Pokemon, but I still wish that they had done more than just make them silver. At least it's more noticeable, so that gives it a little bit more points in the shiny regards, but I can't really put it higher than C. So yeah, shiny Walking Wake in B, shiny Iron Leaves in C. Yeah, there you go. There is the placement of the past and future Paradox Pokemon that I didn't include in the video, or whatever was available.